In this lesson, we'll be looking at manipulating tenses. Many of you are about to sit your CXC exam and you would like to remember what your tense endings are. In this video, you will see the tenses and their endings. Please memorize them for your exam and remember when to use them. Conseos para el examen. Manipulating tenses. The topic of holidays is perfect for showing how you can move from one tense to another. The present for what you usually do, the project for a specific time in the past, the future for a holiday you have planned, and the conditional for a holiday you would like to take at some unspecified time in the future. Notice also the important time indicators. 1. The verb soler. Its stem changing, it changes from O to UE in the present tense. It is used to express what you normally do or are accustomed to doing. 2. The adverb normal. The adverb normalmente and others like it, generalmente, siempre, etc. all indicate present tense. 3. El año or el mes, etc. pasado, or the expression hace -años o meses o semanas, or al día or mes siguiente, are indicators of the past tense. 4. El año or el mes, etc. que viene indicate future tense. Vamos a practicar. Let's practice using some examples. Let's look at the use of the verb soler, which is spelled S-O-L-E-R, in these sentences. Yo suelo jugar al tenis. I usually play tennis. Tú sueles ganar. You usually win. The verb soler. The infinitive verb form is soler, S-O-L-E-R, and we call it the infinitive verb because it ends in ER and the meaning of it is preceded by to. Therefore, soler is a stem changing verb. It changes within the stem from O to UE. It means to be used to or usually. Let's look at the present tense conjugation of soler. Yo suelo. Do you notice the change within the stem in red? Tú sueles. Él, ella, usted suele. Nosotros solemos. Vosotros soléis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes suelen. Question for you. ¿Dónde sueles ir de vacaciones? Responses. Suelo ir a la playa or suelo viajar en coche. Please take note of the two infinitive verbs used in the sentences to respond. Ir, which means to go, and viajar, which means to travel. Let's practice using normalmente, generalmente, and siempre in sentences. Generalmente, yo voy de compras en línea. Normalmente, me levanto a las 5 de la mañana. Siempre yo hago ejercicio afuera. Nota gramática. Could you tell that generalmente means generally, and normalmente means normally, and that siempre means always? Vocabulario. 1. Ayer means yesterday. 2. Anteayer, the day before yesterday. 3. La semana pasado, last week. 4. El mes pasado, last month. And 5. El año pasado, last year. Now let's look at the expression hace blanco años. Hace plus number of years. A. Hace 3 años. A. Hace 3 años. It's been 3 years since. B. Hace 4 meses. It's been 4 months since. At this time, we're going to look at how to express time in the future. So here are some vocabulary that will help you talk about the future. Mañana means tomorrow. La semana que viene means next week. And another way to say that is la próxima semana. El mes que viene, next month, or you can say el próximo mes. Next, el año que viene, or you can say el próximo año. We will now look at some tenses you should know in preparation for your CXC examination. We're going to look at the present tense in this diagram. So when you're conjugating verbs, identify which type of verb you are conjugating. There are 3 types of verbs in Spanish. We have AR, you can see it here in peach, ER in purple, and IR in green. Now, let's look at the infinitive verb forms. Remember that verbs end in AR, ER, and IR meanings are preceded by 2 in English, and they're called infinitive verbs. Here we have our infinitive verbs hablar, comer, and beber. Hablar means to talk, comer means to eat, and beber means to live. So when you're going to conjugate a verb in the present tense, first identify which type of verb you are going to use, then identify the infinitive verb form, after which you remove the stem. Now, what is a stem? The stem is the part of the verb that is left after removing the infinitive endings. If you pay attention to column 3, you see hablar, subtract AR, and what you have left is HABL, ab, which is your stem. Same thing for comer, take off the ER, your stem would be com, and beber, take off the IR, and your stem is now viv. Upon identifying your infinitive verb and removing the infinitive ending and identifying your stem, we will now identify our pronouns in Spanish, and these are yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Now, let's pay attention to the tables below each infinitive verb form. Under the peach section, you will see o, as, a, amos, ais, and an. Those are the endings for an AR verb. Please note that the ER and IR verbs share some endings similarly in the present tense. ER endings are o, es, e, amos, eis, and en. The IR endings are o, es, e, imos, is, and en. Now that we've identified our tense endings, let's try to conjugate our verbs in the present tense. Now pay attention to the table. To the extreme left, you see where there are some subject pronouns listed, and also circled are tense endings that we will be using with our stems to demonstrate examples. For example, under the AR column, we see O. O would go with the yo form. Remember, yo in English means I. So, for example, our stem is ab from hablar. We would say yo and then put ab and add the O to ab, and we get yo hablo, which means I speak. From the ER table in purple, we have circled S. Now, the pronoun that goes with S is tu. So, to add tu Write your stem, then add es to come, you get tu comes. Tu comes means you eat. Now let's look at the eos form of vivir. Eos, the stem is viv and the ending is n. So we say eos viven. Pay attention to the diagram and what is being circled. Eos viven means they live. I have attached other conjugations to this video. Let's look at them. Here is a table showing the present tense conjugation of verbs in the present tense. The pronouns are yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Hablar means to talk or to speak. Yo hablo, I talk. Tú hablas, you talk. Él, ella, usted habla. He or she talks or speaks. Usted habla would be you talk. Nosotros or nosotras hablamos, we talk. Vosotros or vosotras habláis, you talk. Ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan, they or you talk. Comer, the conjugations are como, comes, come, comemos, coméis, and comen. And vivir, vivo, vives, vive, vivimos, vivis, and viven. Please look out for part 2 of manipulating tenses, where you learn about other tenses and how to use them. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Adios.